What are you doing here?
The film begins at a U.S. Marine Corps training camp on October 7, 2007. 4 days later, Captain Sam Cahill is deployed to Afghanistan. He writes a sorrowful farewell letter to be delivered to his wife in case he doesn't return home. He hands the letter to the major, hoping it won't need to be sent. The main character returns home. Sam is a model family man with a wonderful wife named Grace and 2 daughters, Maggie and Isabel. His younger brother Tommy is his complete opposite. He has just been released from prison after serving time for bank robbery. Sam meets his brother, and they drive toward town. The home is filled with warmth. Grace, Sam's wife, is preparing dinner to celebrate Tommy's release. At that moment, Tommy arrives, and the door is opened by his younger niece, who immediately tells on her mom, saying she doesn't like him. Finally, the family gathers for dinner to celebrate the return of one son and bless the other, who is about to leave for Afghanistan. Their father, Hank, starts getting angry with Tommy and compares him to Sam, who serves his country instead of breaking the law.
Your brother's a hero.
The father keeps stirring things up, and it ends in an argument with Hank leaving the house. As he leaves, Tommy asks his brother to be careful.
Be safe over there, all right?
That evening, Sam takes off his wedding ring, and his wife hangs it around her neck and tells him she loves him. 5 days later, Sam is already driving through the Afghan desert and says he feels at home there. He records everything on his phone as they pass by destroyed equipment. Soon, the helicopter carrying him and his squad is shot down, and they crash. Grace is taking a bath when suddenly the doorbell rings. Her older daughter opens the door and sees 2 soldiers who have come to deliver the horrible news about her husband's death.
What's wrong?
Grace can't accept it. She re-watches old videos of her husband and keeps dialing Sam's phone number.
Captain Sam Cahill, please leave a message.
That night, a drunk Tommy arrives at the house to return a car. He's surprised Grace is so upset over a broken headlight. Then, in tears, she tells Tommy what happened to his brother. He is the last one to learn of the tragedy, as no one could reach him all day. He starts yelling at her, saying they never should have let Sam go to Afghanistan. Tommy returns to his parents' house and sits on the porch, where his stepmother meets him and invites him inside. But he says he wants to be alone. Grace gets the girls ready for the funeral, but the daughters refuse to wear black dresses. At the funeral, the widow receives that same farewell letter. After the ceremony, Hank has been drinking, and Tommy tries to take the keys so his father won't drive drunk. Hank again reproaches his youngest and compares him to his older brother. But Tommy also has something to say to the old man. He wasn't a great father or husband, and he filled Sam's head with military nonsense. Eventually, Hank walks home. Grace is afraid to open the letter and puts it away. We are taken back to Afghanistan. The Taliban are escorting 2 soldiers. Turns out Sam and another soldier, Private Joe, survived. The Taliban captured them and threw them into a zindan, an underground prison. Sam tells the private not to say anything to the Taliban. He must remain silent. A drunk Tommy calls Grace at 3 in the morning and asks for help with money. He's $47 short to settle his tab with a bartender, who now threatens to report him for breaking parole rules. The woman had to bail out her wayward relative in the middle of the night and bring him home. He wakes up to the clatter of kitchen utensils. The girls decided to make pancakes to cheer up their mom, who is very sad about their father's death. Tommy asks them to stop and be quiet.
Stop it.
No.
But Maggie refuses, and Tommy has to get off the couch. Hank shows up. He didn't expect to see his son here. The man apologizes for his behavior the night before, and Tommy admits that Sam was always smarter than him. That's not true, Hank replies. You just always gave up on everything you started, unlike your brother.
I cut my throat to bring him back, Dad.
How she lives with this kitchen the way it is.
Sam watches all this through a narrow gap between the wooden boards. He sees a helicopter flying over the Taliban camp. Sam is sure they are being searched for and starts knocking boards loose with a stone. At that moment, he is threatened with a gun and a heavy boulder is placed over the boards. Tommy remembers his father's words about Grace's lousy kitchen and, along with his buddies, starts renovating it without warning. 2 months have passed in captivity. While Sam tries to stay calm, the private is slowly going insane and accuses the captain of saving him, claiming he now lives in hell and would have been better off dead. Sam insists that Joe must not reveal who he is or his rank. Sam hears the Taliban arguing with each other.
You remember what I told you. No information. You give them nothing. You give them nothing, Private.
Yeah.
They seem to have made a decision, and the Americans are loaded into a car and transported to another location. Before the prisoners, they bring out an Afghan man, force him to kneel. He had used a satellite phone to call his pregnant wife, and thus revealed their location. The offender is immediately shot in the head.
Welcome.
The Taliban leader says this is their country and that they have no business being here. Sam must deliver this message to America, or he will be forced to. While Grace mourns her husband, the renovations continue. The men even involve the two daughters in the work. They recall what a great athlete their father was. Maggie accidentally spills paint on one of the bearded guys.
What are you doing?
Painting.
He now needs a change of pants and a shirt. Grace goes to find something in her husband's closet, but snaps and grabs everything she can carry in her arms. Owen doesn't understand why he's been given so many clothes, or whether he should return them later. Grace is sad again. Sam is tied to a post under the open sky. He is doused with water and asked if he wants to help his friend. Right in front of him, Joe is tortured with a hot iron. He can't take the pain and, on camera, says Americans have no business here and sends love to his wife and child. He also reveals that Sam has two daughters. Grace comes home and gets a surprise. The remodeled kitchen is finished just in time for her birthday. Everyone close to her congratulates her, but one very special person is missing. Winter has come. During a walk, older sister Isabel complains to Tommy that everyone loves Maggie because she's cute. He tells her a story about how Sam once saved him from drowning in this very river. They arrive at the ice rink, and Grace is surprised how good Tommy is with children. One day, Tommy visits the bank employee he had threatened during the robbery and asks for forgiveness. They talk for an hour. After the incident, the woman couldn't sleep properly for 3 years. She lived in fear that the robber would return and shoot her. Tommy tells Grace about it, and she's proud of him. That evening, they reminisce about their school days. Grace admits she didn't like him back then because he was always drunk and getting into fights. They dig up the past, look into each other's eyes, and suddenly share a passionate kiss. Grace decides she needs some air, and Tommy, crying, eventually leaves. All this time, Sam's letter remains unopened. Grace still doesn't read it and puts it back in the drawer. Sam and Private Joe continue to be tortured. One day, Sam is handed an iron pipe and ordered to kill his comrade. Since Joe has already revealed everything, he's become a burden to the Taliban. Sam initially throws the pipe away, but they point a gun at him and say, "It's either you or him." They mention Sam's family and say if he doesn't kill Joe, they will. To the shouts of the Afghans, Sam beats the tortured Joe to death with the pipe. The execution is filmed. Tommy visits Grace's house again, under the pretense of installing decorative panels. Grace is a little unsettled after the previous evening. He says he'd be happy to see the girls from time to time. Grace replies that they are all glad to see him. Later, Hank arrives. He's surprised that his son has become such a handyman. The Taliban camp is attacked by American forces. One of the leaders tries to kill Sam, but misses. He is then shot and falls into a ravine. The camera with the footage burns. Finally, the Marine is freed from captivity.
Get down.
While Tommy plays with the kids in the yard, the phone rings inside. Grace answers and learns that her husband has survived. She's in shock. The whole family welcomes him at the airport. Tommy is both happy and sad. The girls immediately show off the new kitchen. They say that Tommy and his friends did the renovation. Sam lies on the bed and hugs his wife and daughters tightly. Grace joins him in the bathroom and kisses his scars. But Sam is cold and hints that she should leave. He's changed, and it's noticeable. Tommy reads a newspaper reporting on the death of Private Joe, killed by Sam. Hank notices Sam behaving oddly and recalls how he himself withdrew from his sons after returning from the Vietnam War. At the ice rink, Sam sees how Grace and the kids interact with Tommy. He tells Tommy that he looks great with his family and thanks him for taking care of them. He hadn't expected that. Grace is a miracle, he continues, and then suddenly asks, "Did you sleep with her?" He assumes it could have happened since they thought he was dead.
Did you f*** her?
Sam doesn't believe anything else and stands firm. He's 100% sure they slept together. They look like two love-struck teenagers. The family of the slain soldier visits Sam's family. From around the corner crawls little Joe Jr. The widow keeps dreaming about her husband and about Sam, whom she hates in her dreams for surviving, while her Joe didn't. She came to apologize. The widow asks Sam if he saw how her husband died. Sam lies and says he didn't see it and doesn't know anything about his death. One night, Sam snaps. With a pistol in hand, he starts arranging glasses on the shelf. He walks around the house with the weapon. The next day, Sam visits the military base and says he wants to go back. When the major asks about his family, Sam replies that he can't stay here. They don't understand him. No one does. But Sam still has to spend some time with his family. During dinner, the girls talk nonsense and joke around. Sam loses it and yells at his daughters, saying their jokes aren't funny. Why are they laughing? Grace tries to calm her husband, but he just walks away from the table. Isabel asks when Uncle Tommy is coming back. Clearly, something is wrong with Dad. Grace wants her husband to talk to her about what happened in Afghanistan. But he's more interested in what happened between her and Tommy. Nothing, insists Grace. I thought you were dead.
We kissed, that's it.
But Sam still believes they slept together. He abruptly gets up and leaves. He decides to visit Private Joe's grave in the middle of the night. He was only 21. The girls are playing outside when their father returns home. Isabel freezes. She's scared and backs away. Sam hugs his daughters and says everything will be fine. The older one barely holds back tears. Sam tells his wife that he thought about the family all night and realizes how lucky he is to have survived. They embrace. It's Maggie's birthday, and they go to Hank's house. Everyone waits for Tommy to arrive. He comes, but not alone. He brings Tina, a girl he met just an hour earlier. He wants to lighten the mood. Tina tries to be clever and talks nonsense about the military. Tommy elbows her, but she keeps going. Sam tenses up. The girls get rowdy. Sam keeps scolding Isabel. The girl says everyone loves her sister more, and she always gets the best. Isabel keeps squeaking a balloon to interrupt the adults and get attention again.
How'd you do it?
Isabel.
Finally, Sam snaps and pops the balloon. The daughter blurts out, "Why didn't you stay dead? You're mad because Mom wants to sleep with Uncle Tommy and not with you. They're always making love." A heavy silence falls. Sam is shocked. They ride home in silence. Before bed, Isabel apologizes to her mom. She knows it's not true. She just doesn't like her dad and wants Uncle Tommy instead. "Me too," says Maggie. Sam sits in the living room and asks his wife if the kids said their prayers before bed. Then he gets up and starts destroying the new kitchen with a crowbar. He shouts that he survived for his family, but they betrayed him. Sam doesn't understand how she could sleep with his own brother.
I love you, Grace!
Please, our girls, please.
You know how much I love you!
And she knows what he did to get back to his whore wife, what he did with his own hands. Sam, in a fit, hits himself in the head and continues smashing the kitchen. At that moment, Tommy walks in and hugs his brother, but Sam pulls out a gun and points it at his head. Police sirens wail outside. Sam steps out with the pistol in hand. He's ordered to drop the weapon, but he yells, asking why they're even here. The cops say they know he's a war hero. "What kind of hero am I?" Sam shouts. "You don't know what I did." He puts the gun to his temple. Tommy and Grace try to reach him and prevent a tragedy.
What's going on, Sam?
I'm drowning, Tommy.
Sam throws the gun away and is arrested. His loving wife sleeps with the children to help them feel safe. Finally, Grace opens the envelope and reads her husband's letter about how deeply Sam loves her and their girls.
If you're reading this, it means I didn't make it back.
She cries. The words pierce her heart. At that moment, Sam calls Tommy from the psychiatric clinic for war veterans to make peace with him. Tommy stays with his nieces, and Grace comes to visit her husband. She says she's been in love with him since she was 16, and that if he doesn't tell her what happened to him, he'll never see her again. Why is he tormenting himself? Sam decides it's time to tell her everything. A tear runs down his cheek, and he says,
Killed Joe Willis.
Grace hugs him. After his confession, Sam wonders if he will ever be able to live a normal life again.